Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 6. Tonight, pooling pressure. A local group pushing City Hall to build a long-promised rec center.
We were told we were next in line for a replacement facility.
E-scooter expansion. The electric rides reaching more corners of the city.
I actually think it will help enhance some of the safety concerns that people typically have about e-scooters.
And at the drop of a hat, how the Elks and Stingers saved a young fan's weekend.
Felt like people are caring for me.
Some more showers in the forecast for overnight tonight, but it does look dry for Thursday, Friday.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
Community advocates in Old Strathcona are pressuring City Council to keep its promise to build Edmonton's next rec centre in their neighbourhood. Council made the verbal commitment before closing Scona Pool 4 years ago, opting for a new facility rather than renovating the old one. The Friends of Scona Rec Group is hosting a block party this evening. That's where we find CTV's Jeremy Thompson. So, Jeremy, what's the goal of tonight's get-together?
Well, yeah, Matt, as you can see, the party is well underway now. The food trucks are busy. People are getting their shaved ice and their tacos right now. Organizers are hoping that this turnout will help demonstrate how much community support there is to get a new rec center built right here as soon as possible. It's been 4 years since the last cannonball at Scona Pool. A litany of mechanical and structural issues led council to close it down rather than spending millions on repairs.
I think they could have did more to keep the pool open until there was a replacement pool at least.
The replacement will be more than just a pool. This concept video shows a full-on rec center with all the typical amenities inside and new courts with a winter skating track outside. For area councillor Michael Jans, the question isn't if, but when. He's pushing council to fund final design and construction in the next 4 years.
When Scona Pool was closed, the commitment to the community was that we were on this track to build this Raleigh Miles Rec Center.
The city has already done preliminary design work. 3 years ago, the project was pegged at $138 million. In a report going to committee next week, city staff appear to downplay the urgency for a new facility. The Scona district currently achieves the city's basic commitment that every resident will have a place to connect, be active, and participate in recreation indoors within 5 kilometers of their residence, which is not the case in other districts.
It provides a much needed amenity here in this area where the city is really focusing on growth. Look around, you see all the infill, you see the new towers, you see the new apartments.
The city is short on money heading into fall budget talks, and council has committed to limit spending and focus on maintenance.
We were told we were next in line for a replacement facility, and we heard there's no new funding for new rec centers, but this is not new, it's a replacement.
Katrina Semenuk's group Friends of Scona Rec wants councillors to remember that. It's encouraging people to speak at City Hall this Monday.
Ideally, it's this 4-year budget cycle. I mean, we've been advocating for the replacement of this pool since 2009, perhaps earlier. That's when I jumped in.
Now, both Friends of Scona Rec and Councillor Michael Jan say that this new rec centre here would benefit all Edmontonians, even if they don't plan on using it, basically pointing to how busy existing recreation centres are for things like swimming lessons. They say adding more pool space should lighten the load for other facilities. This block party is going on for another hour or so here, and then organisers are hoping some of the folks who showed up here will also show up at City Hall on Monday to tell councillors how they feel.
All right, Jeremy Thompson, thank you. The province has launched a review into reports of a strap being used at some Mennonite schools in Alberta. RCMP have laid charges against an adult supervisor at a Mennonite school in Lacrete. A parent complained their son had bruising and red marks from being disciplined at school. RCMP say 3 schools in that area were using the strap and parents were aware. Corporate punishment, though, is against the law. Alberta's education minister says the province's review will determine if further action is required. Starting Friday, new detours around West Edmonton Mall will be in place for LRT construction. Traffic on 87th Avenue near 172nd Street will be reduced to 1 lane in each direction. Access to and from the mall along that stretch will be closed. The mall will still be accessible at 173rd and 175th Streets. The south sidewalk along 87th Avenue will be open with some detours. Work will be happening 7 days a week, and the closure is expected to last 2 months. E-scooters and e-bikes are now on the streets of Mill Woods as the city tests out some new parking and safety features. The city has established specific parking and riding zones for the scooters and bikes. The riding areas align with bike lanes and shared pathways and connect to popular parks and rec centers. As part of the pilot program, riders must park the scooters and bikes in designated parking spots. The area's councillor hopes this will help address safety concerns.
And so I think actually introducing this program will help enhance and educate people more around how to use e-scooters and e-bikes, where to park, what are the etiquettes around it. I know over the last few years, the vendors have also enhanced a lot of their features to encourage these safety measures.
Riders can find a mix of physical and digital parking corrals using the Bird and Lime scooter apps. Edmonton's food bank says Heritage Festival helped raise thousands of dollars regardless of the bad weather last weekend. The festival ended early with evacuations on Saturday and Sunday. Still, Edmontonians raised more than $50,000 at the festival. The food bank was encouraging people to bring monetary donations to avoid carrying heavy, non-perishable food items. Still, more than 24 kilograms or 52 pounds of food was donated at Hawrelak Park. The food bank says it's grateful.
Most people think of the food bank around key festive times of the year, and so over the summer there's quite a bit of a drop in donations. The Heritage Festival is one of those pick-me-ups for us as an organization, and then we're going to see another little dip until we see Thanksgiving again.
People can donate to the food bank as part of the Heritage Festival campaign until Saturday. Football fans also brought their spirit and generosity to this weekend's Tackle Hunger Edmonton Elks game. Volunteers collected food items and monetary donations during the game against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. The event raised more than $52,000 for the food bank. Tickets and passes are now on sale for this year's Fringe Festival. The 11-day festival features more than 200 productions from comedy to drama, dance, and more. Organizers say more than 1,600 artists from around the world are ready to entertain Edmontonians. Since the pandemic, the festival's recovery has been slow yet steady. Its monthly donors have grown since it launched a campaign 2 years ago.
It means the world to us when our community is able to respond, even by giving $5 a month every month. That helps us keep the lights on our stages, our artists telling stories, and us deeply embedded in the community to make Edmonton a wonderful and vibrant place to live and work and play.
Ticket prices for shows are capped at $20. They can be bought online or in person. The Fringe begins next Thursday and runs until August 23rd. The Matar Conservatory's latest feature pyramid will take you on a journey through the 100-acre wood. Visitors will be able to see their favorite Winnie the Pooh characters brought to life through plants and topiaries. Local artists help create Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Piglet, Eeyore, and Owl. They use custom metal frames for thousands of flowers and moss. A gardening team seeded hundreds of pink polka dot plants specifically to match Piglet's pink color. And all this hard work began last year.
And they're definitely not easy to make. They're like a piece of art. But then even as you kind of look throughout the pyramid, there's like a little table for like a picnic. There is like the bridge from 100-acre wood, and it's very like green and inviting. We also have rabbits, garden, so the growers are incredibly creative.
This year marks the 100th anniversary of Winnie the Pooh. The exhibition runs until September 13th. Two local sports teams likely have a fan for life after helping a 9-year-old who lost a special hat. CTV's Noah Rashog has his story.
The Edmonton Elks and Saskatchewan Roughriders were going toe-to-toe on Saturday evening when they were interrupted by the weather.
For your own safety and comfort, we need you to proceed to the concourse.
Mark Olrun-Tegbe was in the stands when he and his family moved to shelter in the concourse. He left his hat behind. While they were able to return to their seats a little while later, the hat was nowhere to be found.
It was the end of the second period, and then there was a lightning delay. So then I went back into the concourse, and then I came back and it wasn't there.
The hat was an Edmonton Stingers hat. Mark had saved up his money from his paper route to buy it himself.
He had come to the game, so he already got his pay for July for June, he would get his pay for July and August, and it was like, could you loan me my pay for July so I could buy the hat? So I actually bought the hat and the shirt.
It's basically like throwing a bunch of money into a sewer.
The pair posted to social media about what had happened, and before the game was even over, Edmonton Elks staff had found him to try and make up for his loss.
It was just a quick screenshot I grabbed and sent to my team and said, when we get back to the game, somebody go see this boy and bring him football, bring him a t-shirt, and just do what we can to make his game day a little bit better.
After gaining traction, the Post found the Edmonton Stingers, who replaced the hat and invited them to their last regular season game.
Luck could have it was our fan appreciation night, so all 12 of our players were out signing autographs after the game. So, the young fan was able to make sure that they got everything that they needed replaced from what they lost at Commonwealth.
The Stingers say they were happy to help, while also guaranteeing a new fan for life. Noah Rashog, CTV News, Edmonton.
The local soccer player will represent Team Canada on the pitch next week. Sherwood Park's Adeline Fairweather will play for the U17 women's national team during an international camp. It will help prepare the players for the U17 World Cup in October in Morocco. Fairweather is the only player from Alberta on Team Canada. Earlier this year, Fairweather played for Canada at the CONCACAF tournament. Canada opens the camp in Atlanta next Thursday, taking on Chile. The Edmonton Corn Maze is officially open. The co-owner says heavy rainfall and hailstorms have impacted the growth of its crop. Record rainfall left the corn stalks thinner and shorter than usual, and that set the maze's opening back by 3 weeks. In June, the stalks were trimmed to mark the Alberta Motor Association's 100th anniversary, and while the crop is recovering and still growing, the maze is still fully walkable.
That's the best part about this, when you hear people laughing and having fun and enjoying being outside. And then once the fall rolls around, we're going to have sunflowers and pumpkins, and hopefully a nice dry fall. We'll be ready to have lots of people out here having fun.
The Corn Maze is reminding people to bring rubber boots if it rains, as the grounds for the maze are muddy. Certainly haven't had a problem.
If it rains.
Josh, I was going to say, I have had no problem navigating the forecast this summer. Let me guess, rain, maybe some thunderstorms?
That's the chance for late tonight. The only change has kind of been the timing of these showers and thunderstorms. Tonight should be midnight or later. And then as we head into the weekend, we've got maybe some daytime hour showers. 22 degrees in Edmonton right now after hitting 23 for a daytime high, 20 to 22 outside the city. And it was a little breezy earlier today. That wind has backed off. A completely average August day. 23 in the afternoon, 13 in the morning. So no real heat in the forecast, but it's not looking super cold over the next couple of days. Tomorrow's probably one of the cooler days that we'll see for a while. Get to that in a second. But first, this is what it looks like outside right now. It doesn't look all that hot. Mostly cloudy skies hanging over the city. No rain in the city or surrounding areas right now, but we do have some showers off to the southeast and then some showers and thunderstorms to the north. Those showers southeast of Camrose will continue to move away from the Edmonton area. We'll stay mostly cloudy through this evening. Those showers and thunderstorms across the north, as we said, probably come through somewhere around midnight. And then watch your temperatures for tomorrow. 19 degrees at 9 p.m., about 19 for a high with some clearing tomorrow afternoon. We're back into the 23-24 range, though, it looks like, for Friday and Saturday. Take a closer look at that and the weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, Pool Pals.
That connection with them is something that is priceless.
The friendships forming between 3 swimmers ahead of the Special Olympics, also just ahead.
In incidents like this, there's always going to be lessons learned, and so we will go back, we'll do an operational review, we'll do an investigative review.
Remembering Parker Wells while reflecting on changes to how missing children's cases are handled.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
People are gathering in Calgary tonight to mourn 11-year-old Parker Wells. It will be a time to remember Parker while also reflecting on what could have been done differently when the young Calgarian first disappeared. CTV's Jordan Canagan has more.
The search for Parker Wells gripped the city for 2 weeks, and hope remained until the very end.
Even though we have brought Parker home, there's still a lot of hearts hurting. There's still a lot of people deeply committed and in pain because of what has happened and what we've gone through as a city.
The 11-year-old went missing on July 16th in the Northwest, but the search quickly involved hundreds of people across most of Calgary.
I find it incredibly important for us to recognize the loss of Parker. Calgary came together in such an amazing way because we lost an amazing kid.
And as the city mourns Parker, it will also reflect on what could have been done differently.
In incidents like this, there's always going to be lessons learned, and so we will go back, we'll do an operational review, we'll do an investigative review, we'll reach out to our partners, and anything that we can do to be better will absolutely be on the table, and there'll be nothing off the table.
The police chief says that could include changes to how the service approaches Amber Alert exemptions after one was applied for and granted more than 2 days after the boy was last seen.
I'm certainly in support of the petition right now calling for an indigo alert as an example. There could be some other ways to be able to ensure that, especially recognizing the unique needs of autistic children, there's ways that we could improve.
Police say there is no criminal investigation and directed inquiries to the province, which has not responded to our requests for comment. Parker's body was found in a series of pipes in a culvert near Deerfoot Trail. City rules updated in 2018 requires storm outfalls to have steel bars at openings.
I'm also interested in the infrastructure piece to ensure that we're having our essential infrastructure safe. I'm thinking stormwater, ponds, culverts, and so on.
Jordan Canigan, CTV News, Calgary.
A woman in Alberta with ovarian cancer is pushing for access to a new treatment she says would give patients more options. Since being diagnosed 8 years ago, Tiffany Morin has undergone 5 surgeries, chemotherapy, and multiple hormone treatments. She wants to see funding for Elahir. That's a targeted therapy that's used for recurrent ovarian cancer that no longer responds to standard chemotherapy. The drug is given through an IV infusion every 21 days, with each round costing up to nearly $30,000. While Canada's drug agency gave it a positive review, price talks for the medicine have stalled, and that means provinces cannot move forward with public funding.
I can't imagine being a person that would need access to a medication that could help me, or being friends or family members of someone that could extend their life and not have access to that. It seems kind of ridiculous that that's what's happening right now, that women could be losing their lives.
The province says it is following the National Drug Review process. 3 swimmers in St. Albert are in their final week of training as they prepare for a national competition in Medicine Hat. For the team and their coach, the journey to the Special Olympics has been exciting and rewarding in more ways than one. CTV's Connor Hogg explains.
On their final day of practice, spirits are high for Team Alberta, with 3 athletes looking forward to the games in Medicine Hat.
I've been swimming my whole entire life.
Feel exciting and feel pumped.
It's really hot there too.
Michelle Setter, Connor Bissett, and Christian Ziegler have put the hours in, with the assistance of their coach, Heather Wilson.
They have all worked exceptionally hard over this last year, getting better at their strokes, starts, turns, working as a team, putting in 110% effort.
This will be Ziegler's first games. Bissett and Setter are veterans. The team supports each other, with family here to support them.
When I'm in the pool, I feel really calm and relaxed, and I know I can do it. I've got my family coming down to support me.
To be like Michael Phelps.
People watching from the deck say a feeling of joy translates from the water.
I'm just so excited and tickled pink to watch them perform.
For Wilson, the chance to coach this team means more than most. Her son Matthew had special needs.
Unfortunately, he passed away, and so this is my way to give back and just honor his memory as well.
Whether they come in first, third, or fifth, it's the connections made between friends that really matter in this race.
It's just the hugs, and the first person that they look for after they get out of the pool is their coach.
I'll be like Spider-Man.
Fast like Spider-Man. You got it. You got it. Fast like Spider-Man. That connection with them is something that is priceless, and I will hold in my heart.
The opportunity to show their talent together. Connor Hogg, CTV News, St. Albert.
A new exhibition in St. Albert is exploring the city's history through the uniforms of groups that helped shape it. It showcases outfits worn by healthcare workers, religious groups, sports teams, and the military. Most of the uniforms were donated. The exhibit's curator says a lot of people could see themselves or a family member reflected in the uniforms. He says one of the most remarkable pieces is a Canadian Women's Army Corps outfit worn by a local Métis woman.
She wrote extensively about her military service, so we have a really good understanding of what the military meant to her, and also what it meant to be a Métis woman in the military during the Second World War.
The exhibition runs until the end of October. It will host a grand opening this Saturday. When we return, the Eagle has landed.
It was very overwhelming. There were some tears.
Now, an Alberta Animal Centre rescued Teddy the Eagle, who was blown away by the wind.
Cloudy skies outside right now with some showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for late tonight. Should be dry, though, for Thursday, Friday. We'll take a look ahead to that in the weekend right after the break.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
The Bison Loop Road at Elk Island National Park is reopened, but only to vehicles. Most of the park remains closed while storm damage is being cleaned up. The park says you can now drive the Loop Road to view wildlife. It is breeding season for the bison, which means males are more alert and aggressive, and they may charge unexpectedly. The park says stay in your vehicle at all times, give the bison at least 100 meters of space, obey all the speed limits, and don't stop for too long when viewing the wildlife. An eagle is back at a nature center in southern Alberta after it was blown away during a flight show. The CTV's Quinn Keenan explains bringing Teddy the Eagle home was a community effort.
Teddy the Eagle came to the Birds of Prey Center last summer. He was only about 4 months old at the time and was starving. After thinking he might not survive, staff managed to nurse Teddy back to health. Jillian Blade is one of the staff who helped train Teddy.
He was very, very thin and very weak, so we actually had to help him eat himself. He was too weak to eat by himself, and since then he's fully recovered.
Recently, Teddy had begun performing in the center's flight shows. After several shows attached to a safety line, staff felt he was ready to perform without the line. His first 2 shows went off without a hitch, but during the third, disaster struck.
A big gust of wind came in, and because Teddy does happen to be on the smaller side for our eagles, he got swept away really easily. He did try to come back. He kind of kept circling, but unfortunately, instead of getting lower, he got higher, and when they get higher, it's a lot harder for them to come down.
Immediately, the center put out a call on Facebook asking residents to keep a lookout for Teddy. For 4 days, responses flooded in with Teddy sightings across Coaldale. Then, on July 31st, the 5th day he was missing, there was a tip saying he was in North Lethbridge. The center's managing director, Colin Weir, went out and found Teddy on top of a semi-truck.
And as soon as Teddy saw Colin, instant recognition, he ran along the side of the semi-truck, and then Colin put out his glove and he jumped down and landed on his glove, and then he was immediately given some food.
The news of Teddy's retrieval was initially kept a secret from Blade. Staff surprised her with what she described as an emotional reunion.
I get up there, and hiding around the corner, another staff member was holding Teddy, and it was very overwhelming. There were some tears. If he wasn't a wild bird, probably would have tried to give him a hug, but he's not he's not like a cat or dog.
Teddy has already started performing in the flight shows once again, but staff are keeping him on a safety line until he builds his confidence back up. Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Coaldale.
It's a good thing Teddy is down in southern Alberta because, boy, oh boy, I feel like that bird would be having a pretty tough time up here this summer with the wind and the rain we've been having, Josh.
I think the bird would be a little happier with it than most people, though.
You think?
Nah, I think the bird would be fine.
You would certainly complain less than I do, that's for sure.
I had someone ask me on online today, when does summer start? It was May 25th to the 29th. It was spectacular. You missed it. More of the same on the way over the next couple of days as what we've had the past little while. River Valley Skycam shows you 22 degrees and mostly cloudy skies here in the city. We got to 23 for a daytime high today. 19 in Fort McMurray. We'll be in that ballpark tomorrow. 26 and 28 for Grand Prairie and Jasper. Jasper was 27 yesterday, 28 today. So you got some heat there. A little bit of heat across the south as well, mid to high 20s. Low to mid 20s is about as warm as it's going to get here over the next week and a half in the city. There's some showers headed towards the Coronation region. You got a little sprinkle there northwest Westlock. Looks like that's not going to affect the city of Edmonton. And then here around Fort McMurray, some heavier pockets of rain. You also have some heavier rain in the Peace River region, in the yellows and oranges there. All of that not really moving directly south. You can see it's almost sliding more easterly than southerly. Gradually it's going to start to push to the south as this cold front comes through, but that probably doesn't happen, at least for the Edmonton area, until around midnight tonight. Let's show you Futurecast. Still some more showers, and we've started to see a little bit of lightning off of this, so there will be some embedded thunderstorms within this front. Mid-evening, 10 p.m., that's still well to the north of Edmonton. I think somewhere, as we said, around midnight or 1 a.m., that's your best chance at seeing some showers and thunderstorms in the city. So it's an overnight chance. And then for tomorrow morning, we get clouds to start the day, starting to see a little bit of clearing late in the day. It'll be the reverse for Friday. Tomorrow, cloudy in the morning, then some late day clearing. Friday, sunnier in the morning, clouds increase through the afternoon. I don't think we get any daytime showers, though, tomorrow or Friday. After tonight, the next best chance would be overnight Friday night into early Saturday morning. And then Saturday evening, you have a chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Sunday, you have a chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. 16 in Fort McMurray right now. It's 10 degrees warmer in Grand Prairie, though, at 26, 22 and 21 in Edmonton and Red Deer, and around 20 in Lloydminster. We'll get to 19 degrees at 9 p.m. with mostly cloudy skies. There's your chance of showers, thunderstorms overnight. Clouds to start, clearing in the afternoon. 19 at 9 o'clock tonight, and about 19 or 20 for a high tomorrow afternoon, so a couple of degrees cooler than it was today. You're almost at your last chance to win big in the Mega Summer 50-50. You have just a few days left to go to ctvedmonton.ca, click on contests and get your tickets. Not only could you win half the jackpot, but you'll also support the Kaleo Collective and the Bears Children's Fund. 23 and 24 Friday, Saturdays, it warms back up. There's your risk overnight Friday, early Saturday. Saturday evening, chance of showers, thunderstorms. Daytime hours look okay. Sunday, the timing on this is still up in the air. So I've just put a 40% chance of showers or thunderstorms there. About 19 again on Sunday. And look at your long-range forecast. 20 to 22 for daytime highs all of next week. And that takes us to the middle of August.
All right, Josh, thank you. Still to come tonight on CTV News, forced out by flames.
People having a lot of propane, vehicles exploding, all sorts of things.
A retired firefighter watches from the water as his home in BC burns to the ground. Also just ahead.
And that's the kind of day it's been. I'm Lloyd Robertson.
A look at the life and legacy of a Canadian broadcasting legend.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Wildfire destruction is spreading in British Columbia with more than 300 homes destroyed. Thousands of properties have been evacuated as officials watch for rising temperatures and lightning in the forecast. CTV's Andrew Johnson has more from Vancouver, where smoke is causing air quality issues.
The smoke is thickest behind me on Vancouver's North Shore and to the east into the Fraser Valley. There have been new air quality warnings issued today as much more surreal and dangerous scenes play out in the BC interior. Retired firefighter Jeff Moore was forced to watch from the water as his lakeside Okanagan cabin burned to the ground.
It was a nut show in there. There was bombs going off everywhere, people having a lot of propane, vehicles exploding, all sorts of things. It was just a crazy time.
After trying to first save the home, Moore made his escape in a boat. Watching the flames he spent his career fighting do their worst. The cabin is one of more than 200 homes believed to have been destroyed by the Bradley Creek fire near Vernon. Another belonged to Kevin Statham, who says he barely escaped a 12-meter wall of flame.
We lost everything. It's gone. It was my dad's house. It wasn't just mine. It's bad.
More than 100 buildings have also been destroyed a couple of hundred kilometers to the northwest near Clinton. Around the province, more than 11,000 properties are either evacuated or on alert.
Never seen fuel dryness the way we are seeing it right now. And then when you put 85 to 100 kilometer winds on top of that, it is an explosive and extremely dangerous situation in BC.
Dangerous not only for people living in the affected communities. Yesterday, a helicopter being used to fight one of the more than 100 fires in the province crashed into a lake. Fortunately, the pilot survived and was sent to the hospital with minor injuries. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Iran says it has reached an understanding with Oman over a new route for ships to transit through the Strait of Hormuz. Reuters is reporting the proposed deal could see Iran wielding control over ships moving through the strait. Citing various sources, Reuters reports the latest agreement provides one of the biggest concessions yet to Iran. The U.S. has yet to comment, although the president, Donald Trump, has repeatedly stated a deal on reopening the strait is imminent. The strait lies between Oman and Iran and is considered one of the world's most crucial waterways due to the amount of oil shipments that travel through it. Russian attacks have killed 17 people in Kyiv and the surrounding area as Ukraine's depleted air defenses failed to stop any of the incoming missiles. The barrage lasted about 2 hours and was the latest in a series of large-scale missile strikes. It's unclear how many Patriot system interceptors Ukraine has left. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has pleaded with other countries, especially the United States, to send more. The U.S. says it is pressing ahead with talks on allowing Ukraine to build the missiles. Global Affairs Canada says most travelers don't understand Ottawa's travel alerts, especially their effect on travel insurance. A survey found 28% of respondents were aware that changes to the risk level of travel destinations can change the validity of travel insurance and lead to denied claims. Only a third of respondents knew Ottawa can provide financial assistance in emergency and exceptional situations, such as a loan to pay for evacuation costs. The federal government recommends all Canadians traveling abroad register in its travel database, which allows embassies to send safety information through emails or text messages. The news and broadcasting industry is remembering Canadian journalist Lloyd Robertson. As chief anchor of CTV National News for more than 35 years, Robertson was known as much for his commanding voice on the air as he was for his warmth and kindness. He died yesterday at the age of 92. CTV's Jen-Bienne Boscheman has more.
So that's the kind of day it's been on this.
On the day he signed off for the last time, Lloyd Robertson joked he was about to be yesterday's news.
We made it, Harvey.
Reaction to his passing, though, has proven his legacy to be a front-page story.
I think people trusted him. I think he was a really special journalist.
I'm Lloyd Robertson. We'll see how the world came to Canada.
His authoritative voice was a landmark of the Canadian broadcast landscape for over 6 decades.
He was a true gentleman, a real newsman. He loved scoops.
The boy from Stratford, Ontario, who worked at the local radio station, eventually knocked on the CBC's door.
I was hired by the CBC. My voice got me through.
We interrupt this program. He said he fully understood his role in 1963 with the Kennedy assassination.
I felt that I was now involved in something that really mattered to people. Television news.
Good evening.
Robertson worked his way to the CBC's flagship news show, The National.
When I did my first news special as a reporter with Lloyd in 1970, he took a lot of time and trouble ensuring that I was comfortable in doing what I was doing.
Robertson is leaving the CBC after 22 years.
He signed on to CTV in 1976. Former Prime Minister Jean Chrétien said today that Robertson had a rare talent, explaining complicated events to Canadians.
Tonight, face-to-face with...
He retired from the evening news in 2011 and proved in 2018 that you can't take the news out of a news anchor.
And I was able to walk away from this.
That's him reporting live on his own car accident.
He had no ego. He was first class. Everyone loved being around him. And he just really made everyone feel special.
But Robertson often said the greatest honor of his life was to chronicle the times, the events that marked Canada and the world for so long.
And that's the kind of day it's been.
Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News.
Coming up next, agitated by AI.
Quite frankly, I'm terrified. I take my grandchildren down there all the time.
How an Alberta community is fighting back against a plan to turn farmland into an AI data center. Plus, why a provincial ministry is facing charges after a firefighter was killed in Alberta 2 years ago. Here's a look at the markets on this Wednesday evening. The Canadian dollar is up slightly, still trading for a little more than 71 cents against the U.S. dollar. Oil was down 55 cents, sitting at $75.22 U.S. a barrel. Gold saw an increase of $152. On the stock market, the TSX gained 344 points. The Dow Jones up 263 points. Alberta's Ministry of Forestry and Parks is facing workplace safety charges after a man was killed fighting a wildfire in Jasper National Park. 2 years ago, a tree fell on and killed 24-year-old Morgan Kitchen. The wildland firefighter was employed by the ministry when the flames tore through the town site. The provincial ministry is facing 6 charges under Alberta's Occupational Health and Safety Act. OHS says the province failed to ensure worker safety by not properly assessing and controlling hazards and failing to adequately train workers. It also says the Alberta government failed to take reasonable steps to prevent harm, like cutting down trees or establishing a no-work zone. The province says it will not comment as the case is before the courts. A group in Vulcan County is the latest in a growing list of Albertans opposing data centers in their region. The local council recently approved rezoning land for a proposed development. CTV's Tim Brooke reports.
A slice of land about 180 kilometers southeast of Calgary is occupying a lot of Sylvia Farrant's mind.
Quite frankly, I'm terrified. I take my grandchildren down there all the time.
This Albertan owns a home in the Little Bow Resort, a lakeside community filled with full and part-time residents. Farrant says a new neighbor has the potential to disrupt the mall.
Right beside the Traverse Reservoir, right beside the environmentally sensitive area, right beside the Southern Alberta Bible Camp, right beside our homes.
Talk of an AI data center is dominating Little Bow conversations. Vulcan County Council recently approved rezoning 350 nearby hectares for a future industrial development.
We've lived here for 26 years with a beautiful lake and prairie, and we want to keep it that way.
At the end of the day, it's a business. County of Vulcan's a business. They get to collect a lot of extra taxes from this business, so they would be pro.
Residents aren't happy. They say the large majority of speakers opposed the rezoning in a public hearing and were flat out ignored. They're worried about the unknown size of the proposed data center, its reservoir water use, and noise. They also point out there's only one access road shared by their community, a Bible camp, and the rezoned land.
Fire spreads fast down there. It's windy, it's dry, it's not safe.
The Reeve tells us he's hoping all of those concerns are addressed when the landowner eventually applies for a development permit.
Anything commercial and industrial, it does have to go through a pretty robust process, and that's where, the adjacent neighbors and people in the area get those answers.
Little Bow residents are now requesting a judicial review of council's decision. They should know more about the potential data center in the coming months. Tim Brooke, CTV News, Vulcan County.
Supporters of an anti-coal mining petition say a new poll shows the referendum question to ban coal mining in the Rockies would have succeeded. The online survey by ThinkHQ found 52% of respondents would support the proposed coal mining ban. 25% are opposed, 23% remained unsure. Support among decided voters rose to 68%. The group, Water Not Coal, collected thousands of signatures hoping to add the question to October's referendum. Elections Alberta, though, ruled the petition did not meet the required number of valid signatures.
It's quite interesting. This is one that
very likely would pass. It certainly points to preference among Albertans for greater restrictions, if not prohibition, on coal mining operations in the Eastern Slopes.
1,100 Albertans participated in the survey. Hershey's is recalling some of its trademark Kisses because they could contain nuts. The candies might contain almonds, which are not declared on the labels. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency warns customers not to eat them if they're allergic or sensitive to almonds. Customers should return them to the store or throw them away. The Hershey's creamy milk chocolate in both the 104-gram and 200-gram bags are affected. Both have best before dates of 2027. When we return, prospects with potential.
There's a lot of players who would die to be in their shoes.
Young hockey players trying to prove they have what it takes to reach the NHL at a tournament in Edmonton.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV.
Some hockey players with the potential to reach the NHL are competing in Edmonton. Professional scouts and hockey fans are getting a glimpse at the future of the sport. CTV's Curtis Goodrum has more on the summer tournament.
8 of the best hockey nations in the world are facing off in Edmonton for the Hlinka Gretzky Cup.
Dupont has moved up, and Dupont wraparound try, scores!
Last time Team Canada was in Edmonton for this tournament, they won gold. Assistant coach Kyle Chipchura says having the home crowd behind the players is a boost.
I know they have probably a lot of the support from their communities, from their minor hockey associations, kind of following them along.
It's also a homecoming for the Westlock native.
My wife and kids come to the game, my parents come to the game, I have friends and family coming, and that makes it all the more sweeter.
Shovels that back in front, Pugh scores!
It's not just for friends and family. Hockey fans are excited to see the new talent.
A lot of them really want them to play for the Oilers in the future so they can just say that they saw them here before they got big.
It's just super exciting for them to see future players who could be on bigger teams.
If I see their draft and I see them on new teams in the future, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I remember that name from Hlinka Gretzky.
I watch the players and try to figure out which ones will be going to the next level.
It's a great tournament to watch. These are 17-year-olds, which means there's some really high-end talent out there, but they still make mistakes. So the hockey's exciting.
Scouts are all around the rink, so having a good performance is key for players' draft chances.
It's the first opportunity in their season to really show what they've got. So there are some really high-end top prospects for the 2027 NHL draft. They're all gathered here, which means all the scouts are here.
Tickets are available online for the Hlinka Gretzky Cup. The tournament runs until Saturday at Rogers Place. Curtis Goodrum, CTV News, Edmonton.
Josh, take a look at the weather. I thought we were going straight to the board, let's be honest. I got nothing to say about Hlinka Gretzky.
No?
It's one heck of a tournament, Josh. I was just sitting here waiting for the weather to pop up. Yeah.
I was waiting for something really deep and insightful.
Nope.
Mostly cloudy skies through this evening. 30 to 40 kilometer per hour gusts overnight tonight. Around midnight or just after midnight, chances of some showers, thunderstorms. Cloudy to start tomorrow. We'll see some sunny breaks in the afternoon. We'll get to about 19 or 20 for a daytime high tomorrow. And then back to 23 or 24 Friday, Saturday. I think we're dry through the daytime hours tomorrow and Friday. Gets a little more hit and miss and possibly during the daytime hours this weekend.
All right, Josh, thank you. Josh will be back here tonight with Connor Hogg at 11:30. Have a great night, everyone.
We'll see you at Rogers for the game later.